Hello there, and thank you for clicking on this video. As you can see by title and by this tweet next to me, we're going to talk about if Andor is proper Star Wars. So as you can see, and if you are, on the Twitter universe, then you know that the Andor debate has been going on for a long time. And now it has been reheated by Star Wars theories post Andor is now Star Wars. It's a world building show. It does not compete with actual Star Wars, Jedi, Sith, the Force, etc. It's just a good sci fi show, nothing more. And then this person, Robert Meyer Burnett, who I have watched several times, and he is very competent when it comes to Hollywood. This is nonsense. Star Wars literally begins with the opening crawl line. It is a period of civil war, describing rebels, the Empire's sinister agents, and Princess Leia. No mention of Jedi, the Force, or anything at all about the Sith. Andor is all about that civil war. And I do agree with that. So I'm not one of the biggest Andor fans because it was very slowly paced, and the main character was. I still dislike him to this day. I don't think he is fitted to be a good main character. I guess the actor is good, but I just I just did not like the character of Andor. But everything else about that show was pretty good. Stellan Skarsgård, you had amazing world building as Star Wars period needed, and we haven't seen that in a long time. I mean, Obi-Wan and Boba Fett were all on Tatooine, and then you had Ahsoka just in random places in space, which it was nothing inspired, nothing that made you believe this is a real place. So that's why I think Andor was pretty good into making you feel like this is a real place, this is a real thing that's going on. The characters, like all the small characters, like Andor's mom, or the guy played by Forrest Whitaker, I forgot his name. Like all those small characters really made that show very good because, as I said, I did not like the character of Andor, and I did not like the woman, Mon Mothma. I think the highlight was a bit too much on her. But in general, I did like the political intrigue because I mean, if you've watched the prequels and if you have watched the Clone Wars, it is more or less like a political intrigue. I mean, Palpatine is working both sides. He's trying to get people on his side, and you have all these politicians who think they are the best ever, and they're trying to bring others to their side, or obviously they lie to each other. There is a lot of corruption, this and that, and this is what Andor is. And then you have obviously the jail arc, the prison arc, where Andor was randomly at the prison, and the actor there, who I forgot the name of, but he really stood out. The whole, and it's not only about him, it's about like everyone, because it wasn't about like this huge Star Wars arc. It was just about, normal people living the normal life in a insane galaxy with insane, magic and stuff. And you have these normal people who are trying to get by. And I like that. It showed us how corrupt everything was, and I really enjoyed it. Yes, it did have some slow pacing, and it had a lot of flaws. Like, it's not perfect, but at least it's something different, and I think it's still true to the Star Wars, universe. I don't think it's something like wild that you would never think of Star Wars. I think same thing was with the Mandalorian season one. It wasn't that different because we have already seen like Mandalorians, but we've never like really thought about them and what they do and stuff. And um you know that's why I think season one of Mando was that good, because it was something different. Yes, you did have Baby Yoda, but you know I don't know. I think that like a lone Mando going through life, going on journeys would still be a damn good show. But obviously, they had to like mess it up with more or less season 2, and then season 3 like just totally shit on the show, shit on everything. It was awful. So I do agree with that, but then on the other hand, you have these people. Now I agree with the fact that Andor is Star Wars, but then you have these other people. Let me put the other tweet up, that are really like, you know, uh, just because something is different in Star Wars, it doesn't mean that it's good. Um, so this guy, I still remember when fans loved the idea of different types of Star Wars shows. Imagine a Bourne movie, only Star Wars. So this is, I guess, would be Andor, but I still don't think that Andor was a Bourne movie. Like, where did you get that? Imagine a Lord of the Rings style show, only Star Wars. So yeah, I guess this would be Ahsoka. I don't. How is this? Oh my god, how is this Snow White and this like training at the same time? This is insane. Anyways, um, we are living in such random universe. Oh, and Homelander. What the? Oh god. Crazy world out there. Stay safe, guys. Anyways, so in what planet would you compare Ahsoka to Lord of the Rings? Like, this is just day and night. And then a Western samurai show on Star Wars. What would be those Western samurai? Is that Mando? Like, where do you see that? And even if those shows were actually that, like inspired by Bourne and by Lord of the Rings, like they're still not good. Like, even if you see like some similarities to Lord of the Rings, which I don't, like, it still doesn't make it a good show. Like, some people are coping so bad with Ahsoka because it was such a failure that I just, how is this? I don't understand. Um, so yeah, then you have people, saying Andor is definitely not Star Wars. Um, okay, but Andor is definitely not Star Wars. Mandalorian at the beginning was a Western, but it felt was very faithful to what Star Wars is, and that's one of the reasons the show was a success. I mean, but what? Okay, well, explain me then. Like, what is Star Wars? Like, if it's not about like Star Wars, if you just look at the original trilogy, it's about this guy standing up to the machine, to the big, to the dictatorship, in the galaxy. Like, it is, yes, about the Force, but the original trilogy is really about rebellion, that's how you pronounce it, like about rebels. So it, I mean, that's the whole point. Like, Andor definitely fits into that vibe of like rebels, and the big guy against the small guy against the big guy. So I really don't understand what else there would be. Like, I love the Jedi, I love the Sith, I love Darth Maul, I love Qui-Gon, I do love that. But there is, like, in this galaxy, I bet that some people have never even like heard of the Jedi, or obviously in the original trilogy they were a myth. Like, people were like, no, this is like an old story. So, I mean, at the end of the day, as Rob My Burnett said, like, it is about a war. It's not about, well, in general, it's not about the Force, which I do love. The Clone Wars, we had like the Trinity, like the daughter, the brother, and the husband, the dad, and the Lothal wolves in Rebels. Like, there is a lot of like mystical lore in Star Wars, but it's not just that. So, some people are like super happy for Andor. Exactly. To say that something as fantastic as Andor is on Star Wars because there are any magical space wizards is an embarrassing take. The show leader puts the war in Star Wars. That is, I mean, that's a good point. About the High Republic, I don't know. They're like totally nowadays propaganda thing. I don't shit with that. Um, yeah, I mean, most people I feel like are on Andor's side. I feel like this is so stupid. We're in our era of Star Wars. We can see a soccer show embracing the most mythical elements of lore. What was mythical about that? Because she showed up in the world between worlds for like 2 seconds and she fought Anakin. That's why she showed us the most mythical elements of lore. Where did you see that? And then, also I don't know if I agree the gritty spy thriller Andor. Like, I don't know if I can really say that was a gritty spy thriller, but I mean that's nonetheless not bad. Like it's not bad. Um, yeah, I feel like most people are on Andor's side, and I feel like the show it is underrated. But I don't know why Star Wars series he's trying to defend Ahsoka so much. Wait, let's see. Like, he's talking about Barris Offee. She appeared in the Clone Wars, and like. Like 99% of the people who watch the Ahsoka don't know who that is. I mean, I understand he's a YouTube channel, that he's a Star Wars channel, and he loves Star Wars, but I mean, at this point, he's just being super naive. I don't know. I mean, he tried defending Ahsoka so much. I really don't. I don't know. I really don't know. For me, I feel like Andor is definitely Star Wars, and I would love to see a second season. I was not that convinced. Like I love this show, like Andor, as I loved season 1 of The Mandalorian. But there is so much potential there that you can really have a solid second and third season. Um, and that's what a good show, you know, makes you do. It makes you want more. I don't want to see more of Ahsoka. I don't want to see more of Boba Fett, of Obi-Wan. Like, just no, just let them die. And with Andor, I definitely want to see more. So, yeah, the whole Andor debacle, like, I think it's a bit silly. So, do let me know, guys. Is Andor, I mean, if you say, like, Andor is on Star Wars, then Rogue One is on Star Wars because it's more or less the same thing. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, kind of. So, do let me know, guys, down below. What do you think about Andor? Do you want second season? Is it Star Wars or is something like totally different? And I would admit that it did more feel like at the beginning, like just a random sci-fi show. But in general, I do think that it deserves to be, in the Star Wars universe, um, way more than Ahsoka and Obi Wan, the shows. So yeah, I think it's kind of silly at this point. Like, yeah, I mean there are more important things in this world. So, but yeah, do let me know, guys, down below. Andor, are you excited for second season? Do let me know down below. Do you like Andor? Do you think it is part of Star Wars or not? So see you next video. As always, may the first be with you.